Harder Brunch presents Back to Adult Summer Camp.
Sponsored by Upland Brewing and Culinary Crossroads.
August 23rd through the 25th.
We have comedian headliners Kelly Collette and Dwight Simmons.
We got musical acts Draco, Sirius Black, Philosophy of Music, and Tuesday Atlas.
Activities like archery, canoeing, campfire, swimming, crafts. Don't forget to get your tickets at eventbrite.com.
Harder Brunch. Nope, we're not going to say that together, but it's Harder Brunch.
I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream, them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture, cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast on the road. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels. With me, as always, my co-host, Thaddaeus Mckee.
Slappy Pappy Wayne White.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis and the last broke dragon. Give it up for Zach Roan, everybody.
That's right.
At a very special first time on the podcast, live from, well, we're not live, but recording from Nashville, Tennessee, musician and avant-garde playboy John Stamps.
Hey everybody. Why didn't y'all give me a warning? I would have got like a little
Yeah. Yeah, you can try it. Like,
Can I try like a couple and then
let's try a couple.
Welcome to the program, John Stamps.
Oh yeah.
I think that one's it.
That one felt good.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Do you when you DJ, do you have like a drop board of like sound effects that you can like drop in like that?
I've got some. My favorite to edit in, it's like Shania Twain, the song like That Don't Impress Me Much, when she's like, okay, so you're Brad Pitt, but it says, okay, so you're John Stamps, and
That's great.
Oh, that's perfect.
it's good. It's not for everyone, but for the ones it's for, they love it, you know.
Just drop that into every mix.
Every single mix.
Well, so you're a Hoosier by birth, right?
Yeah.
Is
this a good? Am I at a good?
Yeah. He'll get it. In Indiana native, you've been down here living in Nashville, Tennessee since right before the pandemic, right?
Yeah, that's right. I moved down here like in the midst of it. Yeah.
I remember we talked to you on another podcast. We called you on the Drunk Dial podcast, and you were just like, "Yeah, just figuring it all out."
I was like a month sober on the Drunk podcast.
Yeah, like, I don't know what this is, but
I was like laying on the floor in my bedroom, just like staring at the ceiling, like hell yeah.
I asked Bridget. I was like talking about coming down here, and I was like, "Do you know who John Stamps is?" She goes, "I mean, we talked to him one time." I was like, "Yep,
Talked to him for an hour.
That's him." But what's awesome is we were in preparation for like coming down. So I went to Wild's barbershop to get faded up.
Hell yeah!
Before I came down here.
Hell yeah!
And my barber was like, I'm going to Nashville. He's like, do you know John Stamps? You should talk to him. And I was like, funny you should say that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah!
We got him.
Hell yeah!
You were the official Indy to Nashville kid.
I'll take it. You know, y'all said it, not me. You know.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Like a lot of people are kind of I feel like I was kind of at a loss for describing what you do, because previously I was always like, he's a rapper. And I was like, he's a local indie rapper, like from the neighborhood, you know. And he's doing videos at J. Clyde's, and then I feel like you kind of transcended that and you started branching out and doing like your own stuff, and you had witches and goblins and stuff in your videos.
That's right.
Time out. Witches and goblins.
And
That's
it was like I don't even know what you would describe that era as, but it went
drunk.
It was
drugs and alcohol.
It was a lot of witches and goblins.
Yeah. All the hot girls are a little witchy. You know how they say you got to be a little fruity to bag a bad one.
Yeah,
like, you got to be a little witchy back then. That's a true story. And she got tarot cards on her bedside table back in like 2012, 2013.
Ooh, early.
Yeah, early adapters.
Yeah.
But then there was a transition into like Honky Tonk.
Yeah.
But like I'm terrible describing this stuff because I was trying to describe it to people I know, and I was like, it's like hipster line dancing. It's like people that like want to do a honky tonk, but they're not racist. Like everybody's cool.
Yeah, totally.
They want to do honky tonk, but they're not racist.
Yeah.
I like that description.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we've definitely always looked at the event. Yeah, I mean, it's like started as like, can I kind of jump in on speak on that?
Yeah,
real quick?
please.
Yeah. So Dustin, the original owner of Duke's Indie, it's a honky tonk in Indy. He passed away a few years ago, but he had the bar and I was going to shows there and had a lot of friends that hung out there. And I had just started like hosting events like outside of doing hip hop shows with DJ K-Nags, and he would DJ and I would like host, and we were making flyers and like doing everything we'd learned on how to promote hip hop shows and kind of putting it towards other stuff. We thought it'd be dope. We just both like classic country. Like we'll play some classic country records, yada yada. First one we do, this guy named Jeff shows up because someone had told him about it. And he was a line dance instructor. Him and all his line dance buddies are like fucking line dancing, and like everyone's watching them and he's teaching them on the floor. And all of a sudden we're like, oh shit, like this is like 2018, 2019. So everyone's like on, TikTok, like doing line dance. It's kind of like it's like very popular right now. It's like, and again, that's my algorithm, I don't know.
He's like, all I see is line dancing. I'm like, not my experience. But go ahead.
Guys, line dancing is hitting. It's in.
It's in. You heard it here first. So we started kind of like catering the event around this whole line dancing element. And we are all from hip hop, and K-Nags, my DJ, was my producer as well, and so that was kind of our background. So we were like blending records the way like you would transition like hip hop tracks, and then also the line dancer and like his crew, everybody was cool, and the people we were bringing out were like the people that used to come to our other events and shows. So it was like kind of this this kind of open-minded country night where it's like getting people out that don't even really listen to country because it's like fun and it's campy, and like put a cowboy hat and some boots on and come drink some beer and like play cowboy for the night. And then kind of along the way as the event evolved and we like toured and moved it around, we kind of found like a different audience of like kind of more diehard like country, even like blue collar. Like when we did the Live Nation tour and we're doing like some bigger 1,000-cap venues, it'd be like a bunch of people driving out from like farms to the city because they wanted to line dance. And that was definitely like an interesting transition for us too, because we're up there like dressed like like cool guys, and they're like, who the fuck?
Now, are they good line dancers?
The
people from the country.
Yeah. I mean, I think
they're like hot. They're like hot. They're like hot stepping.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like line dancing was a thing in my hometown.
Yeah,
and it was a thing that like even like the teenagers went and did. Like you went to clubs to line dance, like at the underage clubs and stuff. So,
and it's definitely always been like in certain places I'll talk about it and like people are like, yeah, fucking I've been line dancing forever, where other people are like, again, just getting hip to it. I think Beyonce's album obviously like a huge point towards like pushing people towards it, and people starting to create like line dances to those songs. And then like Shabuzi just has a fucking enormous record out right now called a bar song, Tipsy, and y'all have probably come across that too. Like the hook is adjacent to the song Tipsy by Jaquan, like that classic throwback.
Now everybody in the club getting tips.
Yeah, but it's everybody at the bar getting tips. And the beat, like if it came on right now,
real?
you'd be like, I'm fucking with this.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So there's these, there's these songs like the hip hop genre, pop and country are like blending in a way right now to where, again, kind of like where our worlds were colliding with what we were doing, and that world that we were getting into 5+ years ago is now coming to the forefront. And like the success that the event is seeing and the gigs and the opportunities that we're seeing are like kind of, growing from that. And there's like a clear, correlation of those two things. So, yeah.
To me, it's crazy how well like hip hop and country go together. I mean, I kind of remember like Big and Rich was the first time I thought about like that being like a combo. But no, I really think there's something there.
Yeah.
There was a song Over and Over Again.
Nelly.
Yeah.
Nelly was
actually that was even before that. Yeah,
that's why like everybody was like, what? And they're like, just wait. Just wait. Nelly's doing something.
There's an interview where Nelly talks about you know, that era where it was like in the same weekend he was playing a show with Tim McGraw and then like the same night flying and doing a show with DMX. You know what I mean? Nelly's been that dude like in country and in hip hop doing that crossover shit since like, you know, the 90s.
Since the 90s,
like,
yeah.
It's just like been a slow build, and obviously the biggest thing is like I think that bridge kind of, or that barrier like slowly coming down of like your typical country fan being like, this isn't country, but then there's people that'll, you know, go all the way back, and it's like there's always been somebody saying like this ain't country when something new comes, or you know what I mean? The same way people say, and it's in every music genre, you know, people go, this ain't hip hop when fucking Drake started, and now it's like when maybe Drake ain't the best example.
I don't know if you picked a side yet or not.
Do I need to state it right now?
You don't.
I mean, I know who the clear winner is, but as a DJ, like if I got to pick one artist to never play again, come on now.
Yeah.
We're playing some BBL Drizzy. Is that what you're saying?
I'm interested to see what's gonna, you know, I don't know if we want to be another podcast talking about the Drake Kendrick thing, but like I'm interested to see how Drake is gonna come out of this, because I don't see how he's gonna go anywhere.
You know what he does? He pulls the Ruben Stutter, but does it for 24.
I'm sorry
for
24.
2004.
Yeah.
I went to high school with his cousin.
Ruben?
Ruben's cousin, Tevin Stutter. And he had like a big viral song. He made one about Long's Donuts. And it went off. Y'all might have seen it. But in high school, he had a t-shirt that he would wear. We went to private school, so we would have dress out days. And on dress out days, he would wear his t-shirt, and it was just a iron on of a photo of him and his cousin. And I was always like, I can't even hate on you, man. That's hard. If I was related, like I would definitely be doing the same thing. But I love that t-shirt. I'd always be like, man, you gotta let me get that thing. Shout out Ruben Stutter.
Shout out Tevin.
Shout out Tevin.
Is there any plans or agendas to produce or put out any more hip hop?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always like recording, and I haven't been recording and writing as much lately. There was definitely like a transition when I first started DJing and doing events, to where the whole idea of DJing was like, I don't want to bartend anymore. When I quit drinking, because I was like, this fucking sucks. You know, obviously. And I was like, I
drink, and the second I'm like not, I hate bartending. People are like, oh god, I forgot how awful everybody is.
Yeah. And so I was like, all right, DJing will like be my new thing that I do for work, and then that will like give me the time to songwrite and shit like that, and that'll be my new gig. But then as I started getting into DJing, I realized like a lot of the like creative itch and like the things that fulfilled me about music, like I was still getting fulfilled through DJing, because a lot of what turns out I enjoy about the music is like the promotion and the, you know, like the branding and like the creating a world and a theme and getting people out. So not just the music, but all like the other creative elements that go into that. And I get to do all of that with DJing. And there's just like, you know, the return, like I would make, whatever money there's not as much money in making music at the level that I was, to where it's always going back into projects and you're never really seeing any profit.
Yeah.
And DJing is like
losing money on touring and
et cetera, where now I can go out as a DJ, and it's like, you know how hard it is to tour when no one fucking knows who you are, and to convince them to like your music, versus going out and being like, here's a bunch of fucking Drake songs you like, or here's this country themed event. You like Shania Twain, you like Faith Hill, like you're gonna fucking like this.
Here's a bunch of stuff I know you like already.
Yeah, totally.
As an artist, we've asked this to other artists before, but do you enjoy the struggle, or do you think the struggle is important for an artist to go through to make more beautiful music?
I mean, I think there's always that frustration when, like, anytime that anybody's actually like gone through the struggle, that's when people get frustrated when they see someone who's just like an overnight success, because they're like, you didn't, it's almost like you feel like it should be part of the process, but also like, I don't know, if you got it, right?
Right. That's how we feel with this podcast. People are like, we don't like them. They're overnight.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But
is there really anything of a real overnight success? I feel like most overnight success are people that have been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah, totally.
It's just like, where'd this guy come from?
I mean, there are, but it's typically like, I feel like they don't Like, I feel like I remember watching, you remember Trinidad James, the Gold all on my chains. Remember that dude? That huge hit. I remember when he popped off, this is like when vlogging and YouTube was super, like was just starting to get popular. And he basically managed a shoe store in Atlanta. So he was kind of like one of those people who had all these connections and kind of like applied them, and that was like his first record. That was one of the first songs he ever wrote. And I remember there was this like video of him. He was like, "Sorry y'all if I fuck up. This is like my third show ever," and there's like thousands of people there. They're like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, that is overnight.
You know, and it's like that. That's, you know, kind of like a. So it's not that it doesn't ever happen, but I just remember being like, "Oh shit!" And also like it would be scary to be thrust into that and not have any experience or know what to do or what to expect. So obviously I think you would be better off. But yeah, definitely to what you're saying, like I think even when people are like, oh, this dude's overnight, it's like, no, just no one knew because he was going around doing.
I feel like the only one though is Justin Bieber though, right? Justin Bieber kind of was like that, hey, we discovered you on the internet and they became the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah kind of like manufactured almost.
Industry plant.
Yeah, but I don't know if plant is fair, because for me plant feels like, I don't know, man, maybe it's like an incorrect way of thinking of it, but for me a plant feels like more talentless. And it's like, even with like the Justin Biebers, the Taylor Swifts, the Katy Perrys, the whatever, even if it's like all this shit is like built in to help them, like at the end of the day they're still fucking super incredible.
Even if they're a psyop, they're still talented.
Super talented psyop.
Because that one day we're going to be arguing robot or actual human being, right? And so like right now, let's just enjoy the human beings, plan or not.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. What is your take on AI music?
That's a good question.
Man, did you remember that like Weekend Drake song that came out and everyone was like, and it wasn't real, you know? I mean, that one was kind of fire, I guess, but I don't.
Well, and there's some crazy stuff because, like, you know, they've got like, you know, Johnny Cash redoing hip hop songs, and it sounds so legitimate.
Yeah, I think for like novelty purposes and stuff like that, I think there's like some cool, like, oh, there's some hot girl doing a Get Ready With Me while Johnny Cash is singing Back That Ass Up is like clowning. But as far as I don't know, you know,
I think we want it, but we don't want to be abused by it. Like no one wants to be tricked. Right. Like I don't want to be able to, like, is this real? Is this AI? Just if you're gonna do AI, say it's AI, and that's it.
Yeah, or make it so it's like, you know, like what Drake did on that diss record. Clearly that wasn't Tupac, because Tupac's dead. You know,
he is.
I mean, I used to be. Since getting sober, my conspiracy bones have really
dried up,
simmered
down. That's funny.
Like 20-something me, I'd be like, oh, he's fucking chilling in Cuba,
chilling, having a great time.
Yeah, and he could be. You know, I don't know. I'd like to think he is, because, you know, God bless Tupac.
Right.
And if he's not, you know, I hope he found peace and he's somewhere great. But
did you find it interesting that like the only holograms that I've heard about were the Tupac hologram, and then Kanye got Kim a hologram of her dad, of like Robert Kardashian, the lawyer, and it was like, I love you, Kim, and I love that Kanye went. He
threw in a line about loving Kanye.
He made, for her birthday, he made a program of her dead father, and then just be like, I love you, everything you're doing is great, and like also Kanye's the shit. Like that was before all the crazy stuff happened with
I do feel like holograms were a thing that were never really fully delivered on. They're kind of like the flying car avenue.
Yeah.
Like that's not actually what the future looked like.
The Google
the glasses.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
The glasses. They were missing it.
Yeah.
Did you, and I think we asked you like back during, did you do like Zoom shows in COVID? Like music shows?
No, I did Zoom AA meetings, but no, I don't. Oh, I applied for this like Pepsi cherry songwriting challenge through Triller. You remember that video app? I just said a lot of wild words. Y'all are gonna be like, the edible just kicked in. Triller was like a Vine competitor or whatever, like pre, and like Pepsi was doing like a song competition with them, and I had a friend like who was working on the competition and was like, no one's applying for this, like submit one of your songs and you'll get in. And I submitted, and this is again like early sobriety days, and my buddy hits me up and he's like, you made it to the last round, like get ready, you're getting a call like from somebody to like confirm it, you know, be somewhere like well lit. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. So I'm like, I think I'm like weeks sober at this point, and all of a sudden I like get this thing, and it's Fat Joe.
What?
And he's like, John Stamps, and I'm like, what's up? You know, like, is this real? And he's like, congrats, like you made it. And I'm like, cool, because like everything I've learned from like talking to celebrities. Whoa, that sounded terrible. Let me bring that back. And like the few times that I've had awful experiences with celebrities, or like seen other people have experiences with celebrities, I've learned like, be cool and act like they're just like, you know, don't be an asshole. Like, don't ask for a picture and don't freak out. And so I was like playing it as cool as possible. And then I called my buddy afterwards. I'm like, hey, how'd I do? And then he's like, they're kind of bummed, dude. You just like, you didn't show any like excitement. You just like, hey, what's up? I think I called him Joe, you know? I couldn't call him Fat Joe.
Oh yeah, that's
you
tough.
know, I'm not,
When your first name is an insult, that's tough.
yeah.
What's up, Rubenesque Joseph?
Yeah. Who else? Is there any other people with insults in their name that old
Dyke Michaels.
dirty bastard.
Yeah, ODB.
That's a context thing though.
Oh, for sure.
ODB. That's why he's ODB though, you know.
That is crazy because like for us doing stand-up comedy now, it's like we're on the precipice where I feel like everyone we know is working with celebrities, or like we'll kind of brush against people that are celebrities, and it is a weird thing just to be like, oh yeah, I just gotta act normal. Like I gotta hang out with David Cross last year, and it was kind of a surprise.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I thought it was like a sign my thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that. It was like let's hang out and drink beer.
Yeah.
And I was just like, just don't say any
be
quotes.
cool.
Yeah, don't say any quotes.
Yeah.
Don't quote Arrested Development. Don't say anything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I feel like what you're saying though, like getting the compliments though, like you don't want it to be too much, but like I feel like they're like adrenaline junkies in that sense. Like everybody gives them the best sometimes when they see them.
Yeah.
Well, it was like a prize so they wanted you excited about like you won the contest.
Yeah.
And you're
You
just
probably
like,
think, man, I suck.
Yeah.
You give Fat Joe a complex.
it's like whatever, Joe. It's like
Did you
whatever.
not know who that was? Like,
Did he call me by my first name?
I call him Joseph.
Yeah. Check my streams right now. Oh, they're down.
Which is really funny because every clip I've ever seen of Fat Joe, he's just saying the wildest stuff.
And he was
like,
so chill in it too. He wasn't really bringing it in my defense, you know.
Yeah.
well, that's the thing that I really like about you as a artist and musician. I feel like you're always doing different stuff. And I feel like you're always like, I feel like the future for you is you're going to be directing music videos or doing like some wild, I feel like big picture stuff.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for seeing that for me. Because, I like when I used to make hip hop music, rap music, I'd like have that lunch with my dad every couple of months, and he'd just be like, you know, so by what age? That's not how my dad sounds. I don't know.
Wait, was your dad Foghorn Leghorn?
He would just always be like, you know, like at what age, if it hasn't happened, are you gonna like, you know, go to school and like get a degree, or you know? And he just like wants me to have fucking health insurance and like, you know, like so he doesn't worry about me.
Yeah.
And I was just always kind of like, you know, it doesn't really work like that. Like it's either gonna be this or something like adjacent to that, right? And I always just kind of felt like, you know, as long as you just don't quit and are also willing to like pivot, which I think is another huge thing. Like, yeah, people like my music, but like, I mean, I'm like totally comfortable being, it's like they didn't like my music the way they like Sirius and Oreo's music. Like I was surrounding myself with a lot of super talented and incredible artists and like doing my best to like support them and play my part like within that unit. And at a certain point, I just realized like, all right, like I think there's like a better use of like me as a creative and me as a person. And then when I started DJing and throwing shows, it was almost like the proof was in the pudding of like, oh, this shit is like super, you know, and within a year, like selling, you know, lots of tickets to parties and being here for less than a year and things like really picking up. And I know that that was all me applying everything that I had learned through working with those guys and what I've been doing in that music. And then just pivoting a lot of the stuff that I'd learned to like this new thing. And then that has just kind of like continued even more so to like, you know, working with brands and doing all kinds of random shit now. So
I'll agree the evolution is amazing, but don't undersell yourself on the fact that like, I don't think Oreo or Sirius would fuck with anybody like that. You know, it's like, I know you're all homies,
Yeah.
but they're not gonna fuck you like that if you weren't talented.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure. I mean,
the same. You're like Katy Perry. You know, we were just talking about it.
I'm like Katy Perry.
You might have been an industry plant, but you're
Yes,
super talented.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, Nick is the whole reason. When I was like 18, like coming out of high school, like, am I gonna keep doing this shit? We like played a show together when I was still in like a not that great of a group, and he was like, "Yo, I fuck with your music," and that was that moment of like, oh, okay, like if you fuck with me, I must be decent. You know what I mean? Was definitely so.
I remember seeing you perform back when Blackacre was still open. Back on the
Halloween
the
fest
warehouse
when it
thing,
rained.
and it had flooded out,
What a
and
day.
it was like where all the people were supposed to be was just a giant pond,
Cool.
and like
I wore a bright pink coverall.
and but like you would not, you didn't miss a beat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You were rocking the stage like there was 1,000 people.
You never know who's
in the
watching.
audience.
But so everybody got there and they were all flooded out and had to basically sit in a puddle. Did they have a good time?
I mean, they couldn't even sit in the puddle.
Everyone just had to be like 50 yards back from the stage. So it was this very like disconnect. It was almost like an art performance at that point.
yeah.
You know, but I was still, I was just giving it like.
Was it a good show though?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went off.
Yeah.
I remember watching. I was like, you don't have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
who's this for?
Stay down, Rocky.
But I appreciate that. Like in performances, and like I'm just like, man, yeah, like, this guy's a hard worker. Like,
thank you, man.
Let's do with the stuff.
Thank you.
And then just to watch your transition into doing, like, I don't know, like I feel like that would be like jumping from comedy to like, oh, I'm just gonna be a serious actor right now. Like, you know, like you're still getting the itch scratch, but you're learning a new skill set and doing all that. Did you have a pretty good like? Did you know country very well when you got into it?
So I grew up in like my parents, like we were listening to like 97.1, you know, like radio country and like the country music channel were like in rotation. So, and also I feel like country was kind of pop in the 90s and early 2000s too, to where you would hear like a Shania Twain song at Cub's grocery store while you were doing your grocery shopping. So it was very much just like, you know, already like embedded in me. And then as I dove in even more, it was like, oh, holy shit. Like the first song I ever sang was by John Michael Montgomery. It was called Angel in My Eyes. And I sang it in the talent show in kindergarten. And that video exists somewhere. My mom and dad are divorced now. And they both are always like, oh, your mom has it. My dad's like,
Yeah.
And my mom's like, your dad has it. I'm like, whoever has it, fucking find it.
Find it, yeah.
But yeah, so country's always, you know, but I understand like the hip hop to country thing has always been because the country party was kind of like the first one that popped off, and then from there, kind of getting back into like, you know, playing hip hop and other stuff too. But it's definitely like an interesting world to be in, where, you know, I've done weekends to where I go and one night I'm in Miami and I'm doing boot scoot, and then the next night I'm doing an R&B party, and then the next day I'm doing a, you know, like a hip hop event. But it's also a lot of fun because it's like it never gets old, and I'm always mixing it up.
Are these a lot of times parties that like are you like going all night? Or is it like stuff that like starts at like midnight? And
Yeah, like Miami stuff goes really late. Miami's fun. Even as a non-drinker, people are always like, "What do you do there?" I'm like, "I fucking do everything you do, but I fucking remember it."
Yeah. There's still a beach.
No shade. That sounded real like sober dickhead energy. That's not me at all.
Go there for yourself, fuckhead.
But people literally always be like, "Look, what do you do for fun?" I'm like, you know, everything but, you know, fucking go for a walk, eat some food, go shopping. Like, it's cool, you know. But I literally get it, because before I quit, I would always be like, what the fuck? What do you do? You know what I mean? What am I gonna do if I ever quit drinking? Read a book? It's like, I'd really be reading books now. You know?
Our mutual friend Hannah Rushline was over the other day, and like I had these like seltzers, and it was like for some reason like Kroger's putting out like Moscow Mule seltzer, and it was just water, it's just fizzy water,
like a non-alcoholic,
yeah,
but flavored like a Moscow
it was
Mule.
like ginger beer and lime,
yeah.
Like, and she was like, I just picked it up, and she's looking at it all, and she was like, is this just water? Am I going to relapse having a seltzer? She's like, everyone's coming out. And I'm like, you're right. Because there's like boozy Yoo-Hoo. There's boozy like Capri Suns. Like everyone's trying to get in the booze game now.
Wait, Capri Sun has a booze now?
I think so, yeah.
Sunny D has
Sunny
one.
D.
Are you fucking kidding?
But like White Claw has a NA now.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is spending $25 on a... I got out of the game before White Claw. I never had a White Claw. There's a couple beverages I'm like, yo, what's that like? You know, the ranch waters I'm super curious about. The twisted tea, you know, like shit. I'm just like, I'm not gonna take a sip, but I am curious, you know.
None of it's great. None of it's great,
man.
I worked a comedy.
He's like, take that
back. I worked a comedy festival, and you know, Ron White is like got sober in the last couple of years.
What's he drink apple juice in his rocks glass now?
He looks completely different. He looks like white Jesus. Like he came by, his hair is long and flowing. He's got the most beautiful blue eyes I've ever seen. I was like, who is this man? And then I was like, oh, that's Ron White. And I got to like hold his man purse when he went up on stage.
Whoa.
And then he came back off, but like they had all these coolers full of all these random drinks, and he was like fishing around in one. And I gave him I was like, here's your man purse back, Ron. And he just like pulls me in close, and he's like, I've been sober for 2 years, but I think I just took a sip of White Claw. And I was just like, no harm, no foul. And I just threw it away. And I was like, it didn't happen.
What do you think? How do you mix up a White Claw? That's a very...
I mean, like if you... I don't know.
That's the way you get away with drinking around fans. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just got dosed.
No. I'm not trying to dox Ron White. I'm telling you, I think the man just drank whiskey and tequila his whole life. He's like, I've never had this pussy.
That is my biggest fear. Anytime I'm drinking like an NA beer, every time I take a drink, I'm fucking looking at it. I'm like, it's zero. Okay.
Ice Mountain came out with a new alcohol.
because
Water's doing alcohol now.
Yeah.
They work real hard on making everything seem like the alcoholic experience.
Yeah. And I'll be like almost done with one and be like, fuck, what if this is just like a real beer right now? Like, man, that'd be a doozy of a conversation that I'd have to have in my head. But I mean, the fucking market for, I mean, even since I quit like 4 years ago, there used to not be as much shit. And now it's like, even here, I was looking at the menu. They got like 7 things on there for NA. It's like people are fucking.
It's crazy.
I'm grateful, you know, because I like options. Because when I got into this shit, he's like, you can have a soda water and lime or a fucking O'Doul's, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like vegetarian. Like
totally.
I grew up in a vegetarian home, and everywhere you went out to eat, it was a Boca burger for like a decade. And now it's really quite amazing what there is. Like, I'm not a vegan or vegetarian.
Sure, that's like, nice if there's options.
But the options there, I can see it being the same sort of thing. Yeah. Like, you know, you get an O'Doul's and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying if like McDonald's starts making like a bar area, I'm like, what are we doing now? Like, I don't need to talk to the employees. Like,
well, they have that Taco Bell cantina downtown.
What?
I have not gone there yet.
They have one here.
Yeah.
They got alcoholic Baja
Blast. I got the Baja Blast shirt.
Okay, you guys have sold out.
Are you gonna get Baja blasted?
I'm gonna get fucked up on Baja Blast. Yeah.
Hey,
that sounds like the worst hangover.
It does. It sounds terrible.
But you're already at
sugar.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
So you're saving yourself a trip.
Good.
Do they have a different menu there or anything?
No, it's the same food.
Yeah, everything's just twice as much.
It's expensive. We came in here and I was just like, we had such a strenuous time getting checked in and everything.
Oh, come on.
But you know, I wasn't gonna go into any details. And I was like, they got boozy slushies. Let's go have a boozy slushie and just chill. And I was like, it's on me. Thad was like, no, it's your birthday. I got this. And then the slushies were like $50 a piece. And he was like,
The wait staff gets really comfortable when you're passing the bill around and pointing at it and raising your eyebrows like, whoa.
Dude, when I used to bartend, that was my first job when I moved here. I was a bartender here, and handing someone a tab for like 2 pina coladas, and it's like literally like $48, and just having to be like, with a straight face. There you go. Good thing you didn't get those rum floaters. Or you'd be pushing 60.
Well, hold on, John, because that's funny you should say that.
Did you get the rum floaters?
She came back a bit later. She goes, "You guys want to do an extra shot?" And like,
she said extra shot. What does that mean?
You took it in that voice like, "Oh, we're doing a free shot with the bartender."
Yeah.
Extra.
Nope.
You dummies.
That was
Extra.
Oldest trick in the
Because
book.
we've made them laugh a couple times. The comedian transaction.
Oh, they were laughing at us.
3 times I get a free drink.
You guys
That's how it
You
works.
guys want to do a shot together? Like, oh, fuck yeah.
Together. Oh, sure.
All right, now who's taking this?
Yeah, I don't have any money for the rest of my vacation.
I remember I did say something about how much I spent because it was $60 without the tip. And I was like, oh, and I'm counting the people like, oh, there's 3 people. Like, that's $20 a piece for a swig. And I'm like, I said, this is expensive. I'm not complaining, but this isn't happening again.
It is. And I'll tell you what, that's a lot of spots you go around in Nashville because, you know.
Really? People like to drink here like that?
Well, not even that. Just I feel like.
Touristy?
Yeah, like if you were at like a more, you know, there's.
So we need to go to a border town.
No,
like,
not
just
even
like
that.
outside of
I mean,
Nashville
I'm
to
not
go
the
drink.
Best.
You're not from around here.
I'm not the best person to tell y'all where to drink in town because I got sober when I got here. But I do know, I know cool spots, but I have no idea how much a fucking beer there costs. You know, for me, I'm just like, not, you know, the soda waters are free everywhere I go. So, but there are a ton of spots like in East. There's like, you know, there's dive spots. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
But yeah, you know, I think the thing here is like, you're at the pool, you know what I mean? And
It's the experience.
Yeah, it's the experience, you know. Was the pina colada good though?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, everything was great.
Yeah, you know.
I'm not complaining.
No, for sure, but definitely. I mean, anytime you're spending, but I mean, that's been the thing, right? Like $14, $16, $18 cocktails all of a sudden.
I feel like it'll keep you from making an ass out of yourself. You know, like I can't get drunk. I can't literally afford to get drunk.
As someone who work here, you'd be surprised, man. The people staying here would be the scariest thing because it's like, oh, you just got to get back to your fucking room. You know what I mean? So you're going to stay here till close and you're going to shut it down with me. And I'm just like praying you don't
fall in the pool
or throw up in your sleep.
Question: How much swinging happens here?
You know,
we were having a debate about it
because
the
we did
decor,
get the 2-bedroom.
the decor, and when we came in, like I was telling Dyke, I was like, "No, this is where people go to fuck each other's wives," and he was like, "No, this is a family place." I said, "It's not a family place."
You gotta be 20. You gotta be
Yeah, that's
21
ridiculous. It's not a
here.
fucking family place. And then the people that are upstairs had the suitcase with the pineapples all over it, and then he was
I
definitely
forgot
like,
about the
"Oh
pineapple
shit."
thing.
Yeah, I was like, no way. So the pineapples.
You know, that was
You're
that
right.
was always the thing. Is people would be like, how much like shit must get freaky here, and I never literally. I was like there like curious. Like,
Wait, did you clean rooms or did you just do?
I cleaned the rooms.
Okay,
too.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I did housekeeping.
What's the wildest thing you saw?
Man, I was always nervous I was gonna find a dead body.
Sure.
I think that's any housekeeping.
Yeah.
Just open up that door like, fuck, please don't be a dead fucking body.
Every time.
But no, nothing like crazy. You know, like fucking condoms and like sex, but never like a crazy dildo or anything. I think the coolest thing I ever found, I think someone got a brand new tattoo and then fell asleep on it, but, like without wrapping it.
Yeah.
And so they had like a full back tattoo printed on the bed sheet.
Like a silly putty.
I almost wanted to save it.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
that would have been fucking dope.
But I was like, this is disgusting. You can't save this. But I would just like I still smoked weed back then, and I'd get real high, drinking iced coffee, and then I had this like Wes Anderson movie playlist. So it'd just be like all songs from Wes Anderson movies, and I'd just like act like I was in a movie and just clean these rooms just terribly.
This is the place to do that, though. I could spend a year doing that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, this was during the pandemic, so like the bar wasn't that busy, and they were like talking about hiring housekeeping one point, and I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that poorly.
Yeah.
They'd always be like, yo, you got to go back in there and do that one again.
Could you shoot a music video in here?
I did. I shot a music video in here.
What's it called?
Birds and Bees. It wasn't like an official video. It
That's
was
porn.
It's all no.
You did a porn.
I
Go to the Time Hotel to learn about the birds and the bees.
Okay. All right.
And that was before I worked here. And there was never mind. But there was we can talk about it off my
All right.
but that video is just on, I think it's still on my Instagram somewhere. But yeah, it's not on YouTube. Yeah, birds and bees.
No, I know you don't eat meat and you don't drink, but I know you.
I eat meat. Where'd that?
I thought you were a vegan. Did I make that up?
No.
Just because he doesn't drink?
I feel like you're stereotyping
That's how
people.
it
Yeah,
goes.
that's bad. That's bad behavior.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, that's why he kept
He
bringing
asked
up
me
the
like 8
vegan restaurant.
times
Yeah.
if we could eat vegan. I was like, damn, this guy's really pushing his vegan lifestyle on me.
Yeah, he almost had us go buy a vegan place and pick up food for you.
I love that. So that's very thoughtful and
It's very
considerate,
thoughtful. No,
honestly.
very.
But
Yeah.
I was like, damn, he's really trying to get
Yeah,
some
he just
vegan.
Never been
Yeah,
vegan. I
yeah, he
just
just
made that
doesn't-
up.
I used to know. I didn't eat meat for like 8 years. so-
Okay.
okay.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
Oh.
It's in there.
Well, you knew him since he was a kid.
Well, let's don't make it weird.
Oh wait, weren't you a camp counselor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you counselors together?
No.
Or were you were
He was a camper. and
you
I
were
was the-
counseled.
I was counseled.
Whoa.
It was CYO camp.
I was
Yep.
the counselor.
Oh, you were at CIL? We're going there for adult summer camp.
So I tried to book him last year for camp, like a year in advance, and he was like, "I'm already booked." And I was like, "This motherfucker's doing stuff." He's booked
I
a
want to
year
do
out.
adult summer camp. They do it at CYO camp.
Yeah.
No, we're doing adult summer camp at CYO camp.
We did it
August
last
23rd to the 25th. We
Yeah.
do a music and comedy festival
Sponsored
there.
by Upland Brewery.
Yep,
Oh
sponsored
my
by Upland
God.
Brewery. It's
Sirius
a
and
fantastic
Draco
time.
are performing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be the shit. You
Are
should
there
be
tickets
there.
available still?
Tickets available
Yeah.
on Eventbrite.com.
Make a surprise.
August 23rd to 25th.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's
Oh
gonna
my
be dope.
God.
There's gonna be a rave in the woods. There's gonna be
Is Steve gonna be there?
No.
That's a little insider for my CYO boys.
your pen pal. Oh, my pen pal also there.
No, he was like the main
Yeah.
dude. He'd just like show up in a Gus Macker t-shirt, cut sleeve.
He
and
still
just
works there.
Fuck him up.
He still works there every summer.
Really?
He's there right now.
Damn.
He's like 60 years old, and
I
he's
ha-
running around with the kids.
I had my first panic attack there, man.
Camp? What happened?
We were just like sitting around singing a campfire song, and I was like, "Oh shit,
I gotta
Like,
go.
I'm freaking out." Good times, man.
That's so funny. All right, let's take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
6, we were supposed to start at 6. She's like 10, right
You were
now.
like, you had like 5:10.
10
It was
o'clock?
5:40. You were here pretty early.
I did get here early. I'm sorry about that.
Are you a time Nazi?
No. I'm really not. I'm really.
Okay, good. I was just curious.
I like to be on time if I can.
Were you on time today?
I was.
She was early.
I
She
was.
was early.
I was
Oh,
a few
yeah.
minutes early
I
today.
thought, like,
yeah.
and, like, weren't you supposed to be here like a couple weeks ago though?
Yeah, I was trying to come a couple weeks ago,
And you didn't come at all.
I didn't. That was not. That was like so that's a separate thing because I wasn't late.
You were like, you just didn't come at all.
I didn't come
Which
at
that
all.
doesn't count.
Which is a different
For
thing because I think I
manners.
texted. Definitely still rude, and I'm so sorry.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering.
Oh,
We're just
I'm-
throwing it out there.
Oh, I'm
right?
certainly a bad person, but I am usually on time.
Wait, am I being a dick, guys?
I mean, like, yeah, in every way possible.
Listen.
Join us at patreon.com/Harder Brunch.
Welcome back to the program. Cheers, Thad.
Cheers.
Cheers to
Let me-
Upland Beers.
Hey, this is campsite, and this is super appropriate because guess what we're doing? We already talked about it in the very beginning. We're doing the adult summer camp. I'm very excited about it.
When is that?
It's August 23rd through the 25th. Did you know it's going to be even better than last year?
I've heard that. I've heard last year was awesome, and this year's going to put last year to shame.
That's what's happening, and people are like texting each other, like, "Hey, are you going to be there? You're going to be there." Friends are being made, bonds,
And they're going to be drinking delicious Upland beer, like
right.
like Campside.
like you do.
All weekend long.
We were just talking about.
Yeah, you really.
No, you didn't want to
Yeah.
You didn't want to yes in that.
Yeah. No. Thanks,
One day.
Thanks, guy that didn't add anything to the conversation.
One day. All weekend long.
And we have another great sponsor that I was afraid to talk about because I made up the fact that you were vegan, but it is
Vaping.
Smoking Goose.
Smoking goose, not vaping goose.
Have you had the Smoking Goose kitchen sink sausage?
I have not.
I made breakfast sandwiches out of this for me and Thad this morning. We did croissant, Smoking Goose, kitchen sink
It was
sausage,
awesome.
egg, cheese, Was that like one of the best kitchen?
It was seriously one of the best
you ever had.
Ever.
What was the bread situation for it?
Croissant.
Like you got croissant's my favorite bread. I'm gonna say that on public record. I've been holding back.
It's everybody's favorite bread.
I'm a croissant guy. No, it's not, Zach.
No, it is.
You don't know that. You really do not know that. I'm sorry, John. This is gonna get serious.
You're
You
good.
don't know that.
You said it's everybody's
that was
favorite.
stupid.
It's pretty dank. This is something
great.
so like normally, and we've never actually had. We still want to do an official like make the full course brunch from you. And next time you're in Indy, hit us up.
Yeah.
and we'll have you over on
I'll
the
hold
show.
you to that. I'm home this weekend, so I'll pull up on you guys.
But I'll drop.
Are you guys gonna be back for the race?
No,
Are you going back for the race?
Yeah.
Are you doing the national anthem?
Oh, that'd be sick. I'm opening for this dude named Zach Top and Riley Green at
in the Snake Pit?
the day before at White River Amphitheater. I guess they have
That's dope.
yeah. Zach Top's dope. He's literally like Alan Jackson reincarnate. Alan Jackson's alive, so he can't be the reincarnation of him. But
Yeah, it's 2024.
he's just like crushing it. He's got like the 90s sound down to a T without not sounding like it doesn't sound gimmicky or like he's like trying to be somebody else. It's like in an authentic way.
So these are huge crowds. What's the biggest crowd you ever performed for?
I don't know. Maybe
Over 10.
I don't know. When we opened up for MGK in 2011, me and Sirius, that was 1,000+ people, probably in like that area. This will probably be the biggest. Damn,
That's awesome.
I wish you didn't tell me that. Now I'm thinking about it.
It's gonna be in my head. You'll
Nah.
be counting.
I'm good. I just performed on a cruise opening up for Chelsea Lynn. I don't know if y'all are familiar. Trailer Park Tammy is like.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And that could have been the most because it was also just like a consistent rotating thing. But she had like her own cruise. It's through this Sixth Man is the name of the cruise
She
line.
has her own cruise.
They just did a one-off and they're going to do another one in 2026. But Sixth Man is the name of the company, and I've got a couple more lined up with them. But it's pretty sick because it's like a tour and you don't have to go anywhere. You know, we went to the Bahamas and back. And
Do you like the cruise life?
I'd never done it before. I was really nervous going into it, especially because it seems like the whole thing is you just go get fucked up. Is like the whole perk of it, right? Is you get like
Is
free.
that
You
it?
can also binge eat.
That's true.
You eat a lot of food.
That's true. There was a lot of buffets. I mean, it was literally like there was a mini Kiss band, like a Kiss cover band.
There were dwarves.
Yeah, I don't know. If,
Are you saying like they were actually short of
Yeah.
stature?
No,
And
no
the-
one knows the right term
and
anymore.
the one who was Gene Simmons, I'm not kidding you. He got caught. Didn't get caught. Like nothing happened. He was eating this girl out in the hot tub on top of the boat, like in front of everyone. And this was like lore on the ship. Like this little Gene Simmons was.
I
Like,
feel like you're not getting your money's worth from
If
a
you
Kiss
don't-
recreation.
That's
if they
what I
don't do
said.
some shit like
I
that.
talked to the dude who booked me afterwards, and he was like, we were thinking about, reaching out to their team, and he was like, "What am I going to reach out? Like, we booked them, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
You'd
That's
be
the best case
disappointed.
scenario.
You asked for a little guy with a huge tongue. What is he going to do after the
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
Shout out Lee.
No,
show? Sex boat.
do stars like act out in hotels and stuff as much as they used to? Like I
don't
feel like
think-
that was
not
a
like in
trope
the
of the
80s and
80s,
90s,
right?
yeah.
Are they even in hotels anymore? You know what I was thinking about the
It's
other day?
Airbnbs that are fucking up somebody's house.
Airbnb will
Where-
fuck you up.
where does-
you try that shit?
Where does Beyonce stay? Like, she's here, plays a show in Nashville.
Maybe like the Motel 6.
Yeah, I'm sure they spend a lot of money
She's
for
not
us not to
staying
know
at the
that.
W.
She's probably in
There's
this
no-
room. She probably comes to the dive.
Yep.
No.
She comes to swing.
We bumped her. She's supposed to have this one tonight.
But
She didn't have her ID. They said, "Get the fuck out of here, Beyonce."
Hey, some people forget their IDs
that's true. That's true.
and almost ruin the whole trip.
That's true.
You know what that's like, being that guy and almost ruining the whole birthday party?
You could have slept on my couch.
That was me. Oh, I was like, I gotta drive back.
Oh, you'd have drove back.
Because I'm already doing a belated birthday present. Zach was like, "Hey, I want to bring a birthday present." I'm like, hey, come on, man. Don't,
and I'm traditionally terrible with getting presents, and I even put it in a bag and
it
everything.
was nice. I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, I want a present. But I was like,
I wrote on the tag probably than your piece of shit friend Thad gave you.
yeah. There's like he probably didn't bring his ID. I almost wasn't able to come in. This was scary. For me.
Wrapping a present, that's like a level of maturity I've finally gotten to. Like, for
Oh,
a
I don't-
holiday.
Yeah,
like,
I don't wrap them yet.
I've gotten there, and man, it feels good.
But do the bag? Oh, so is it better than bags?
Well, obviously the bag's great,
Great.
But like not stopping at Walgreens on the way to your parents' house to get there.
Oh,
Feels like you have your shit so much similar together.
everybody-
That makes sense.
Why is that everybody's? That's the artist experience, right?
No, this is a dirtbag's experience.
Artist really dressing it up. Because it's like, just you can get something off Amazon that's real great and affordable, and they'll ship it to your house as long as you just like think of it a
3 days
week.
awareness.
Yeah. And man, it feels good, feels good to get a gift and like give it to somebody like on the actual day,
Yeah.
like
I
wrapped
thought
up.
about this ahead of time.
With
Have
a
you
card.
ever done a double gift before? Like where like you got me this last year.
Ooh.
One year I was into the Apple gift cards. When you used to have to buy music off of Apple.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I got it for them like the first year of Christmas. And the next year I did the same thing. And everyone's like, oh. And I was like, I suck. I know I suck.
You need more music. That's not bad. That's not like a bad double gift. It feels like a toaster 2 years in a row.
For $2.50.
Oh shit.
Hey,
That
sorry.
was just a bad present. It wasn't the reason.
They didn't get mad till they went to use it, and they couldn't even get a
Very
song off.
awful.
Dude,
Well, I used so I'm like, you wanted me to be happy too. It's Christmas. I was gonna be bummed if I didn't hear this new. No, I'm kidding. It was more than that.
Now, John, before you left Indianapolis, did you ever get a chance to try Tinker Coffee?
Oh yeah.
Tinker Coffee.
I love their branding. They're fucking top tier with it.
It's top tier. It's top tier branding. It's top tier taste.
More than Brandon.
One of my it literally has ruined regular coffee for me. Like if I go to the bank, or if I go to the get my oil changed and I have some coffee
They
that's
have
been
coffee
sitting.
at the bank.
You never had no bank coffee?
No,
Yeah.
I still shout out Indiana Members Credit Union. That's still my bank. I've lived here for like 4 years, and but needless to say, I don't go into the bank a lot. It's
Yeah.
all digital nowadays. But
Well,
you're old school.
I'm old
huh?
school.
You're like,
I'm old school. I like to go in and check the
cash
coffee
your
out.
check, get a cup of Joe.
I don't like my bank
I like to get a
because
cashier's check when I leave.
we don't have in-person banks, but we have locations that are all automated, and you have to scan your card to go in, and then the door locks behind you. And it always feels like maybe there's going to be like a
problem?
Yeah, like a problem.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I would get out of one of
Yeah.
those places. The glass seems too thick.
I'm not locked in here.
And there's
you're
no
locked
people
in here with me.
Yeah, there's no people.
Yeah, so if like something goes wrong, you can't be like, "Hey."
Yeah,
you're like
it
that
seems-
Ex Machina movie. What
Yeah.
how you pronounce that?
It creeps me out.
All right. Can you drop a beat for me? John Stamps, thank you so much for coming out to this porn motel.
I thought you were about to ask me to freestyle, man. My heart just dropped. You said drop a beat for me. I was like, you motherfucker.
I saw you kind of tense up a little bit. He thinks we're gonna rap. And I almost wanted to do it.
It's time for the 5 figures of death. You ready to rip this shit?
You know the show. You know we do this every time on the show.
Hey, shout out Sirius Black. That intro is beautiful.
Yeah, it's banging. He's the fucking man.
I couldn't even tell. I thought maybe at first you had just like he had a track where he talked brunch until he like rapped it and shouted y'all out specifically. That's how you know it's good when the whole time I was like, is this from one of his tracks? Like, oh no, this is a proper theme song.
He came
Like,
over and we were like, hey, would you be interested in doing this? And he went upstairs for like 45 minutes and then came downstairs and spit it in like two
Yeah, it was
two takes.
It was magical.
Yeah. Did y'all make him brunch? At
Oh
that
yeah,
point?
yeah. We made a.
What a time.
He got the full boat, and you can get the full boat next time you're up in Indy when we're up there. Where can people find you and follow you on social media?
It's John Stamps is my DJ name. My Instagram is I am John Stamps, like IYAM John Stamps. I have no idea why. And that's like, yeah, that's the main place to find my stuff. Boot Scoot USA is the country party that I do, and I got a couple other parties that I do, and all that's in the bio of my main Instagram for the John Stamps page. So you just go there and
Hell yeah.
get to know me.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate you so much
man.
for doing this.
Thanks for reaching out.
Thaddaeus Shay, what you got?
Yo, at Thad Mckee on Instagram. Thank you guys so much for supporting and sending the extra money to our Patreon.
Yeah, and if you want to find that Patreon, that's patreon.com/Harder Brunch. It's just $3 every month for extra episodes of us really letting our hair down.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening so much. We appreciate you as always, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, yeah.
Boysenberry.
Oh, yeah.